Alright, I am putting these up for my own reference, but you know, it's not, I don't know, my thought process on this might be useful to someone in some situation. I figured out what to do. Part of the problem is that there's no reality to this, and at the time I gotta get files and explain and everything. I realized something. I've worked with several of these professionals in different areas, all of whom know my situation and know full well about the people who, whatever. I'm writing a nice letter to everyone I worked with, asking them for their input on, you know, what kind of attorney would be best here, so on and so forth. What are their thoughts on it? Now, in those letters, I can share with them, it's nice to share anyway, but share with them a lot of what's happened that I really wouldn't want to put in my initial letter to some attorney. It's like too much information and I don't necessarily know what it all means. But I did want to share with them anyway. The fact is that in writing those letters to them and getting their feedback, we'll have a couple things. One, their feedback's useful. But two, I can have a nice chain of communications that is basically the record of my communications with other professionals on this, what their insights are. That is, not to rely on these official records, but to actually have a chain of communication that is, this is what I've been working on, this is what the professionals say. And then in doing that, I'll also probably figure out a lot about just what to write to the attorney. But it's a good thing. I'll have a chain of communications back and forth between me and professionals. So right away it builds the picture that this is something that has reality. There are these professionals advising this, that I don't have to just say this is what's happening. And I think that's a neat way to do it, and honest and solid, because I do want their insight anyway on all this stuff. So I'm going to do that, and it might even be, like I said, in writing those emails, I'll discover what I need to write to the attorney, just because I'll be doing all this writing, and I've gotten started, but that's really solid. And you know, I need a printer, which I ordered. I don't have a printer. I ordered a really cheap printer, which should be here on Monday. And I'll print all that shit up, put it in something, send it to a bunch of lawyers, and get started. And you know, these people's insights will be interesting, because they did support this, but I really don't know what they say. And also, part of the question is what to tell them, because they know how easily, what do you tell a lawyer when you can be easily destabilized, but the lawyer doesn't know much about trauma, or perhaps, you know, so on and so forth. So I think that chain of communications is going to be really solid as a record, and Jesus Christ, just for the future, I keep communicating with them. Gives me see, this is something I thought of, but I think everyone should know about this. Having that chain of communications between you and other people about what's happening right now, it provides this record that ultimately is like, really tells the story. So I think that's a nice way to do it, and that's what I'm going to be doing.